I'm a mother to 4 little ones. There are 3 businesses to manage, plenty of hobbies and side projects. What is the key to managing it all? Blocks, time blocks, and layers. Time blocking with layers. I have been doing this for years, long before it was like a popular thing, and I've gotten fairly good at it because this is just because I've been doing it for so long. So back in high school, like, I balanced a fairly rigorous ballet study along with some advanced courses. I am not at all trying to toot my horn at all, but I was doing things like physics and chemistry, the entire calculus series. Like, I went to engineering school. I did one math class. Can I speak? No. Could I do math back in the day? A little bit. Anywho, so I would spend easily 15 hours per week at ballet and then school. And my planner was key. I was constantly referencing it, trying to fit together, just trying to see how everything would fit together. So basically, you have these pieces to the puzzle, okay? These pieces that you want to do. How do you figure out what your pieces are to your puzzle? Well, what do you want to do? What are your goals and projects that you want to accomplish? And you've got to be reasonable. That is definitely one of my pitfalls. I always want to do more. So in my high school days, the pieces were, school, like time at the school, like in the actual building of school, and then ballet class, ballet rehearsal, performances, and then homework time. And then there was showering and sleeping and eating. Those were the days. And now, well, all the kids are in a school program of some sort. So assuming that everyone is healthy and attending school, my current puzzle pieces are sewing business, Bronco business, sawmilling. I know it may seem really random, but that's a hobby turned business. Then there's YouTube, RV projects, fitness, and family time on the weekends and on the evenings and weekends. So how do you place these pieces? Well, are any hard and set? Do they have requirements? For example, sawmilling and RV projects really require the kiddos to be in school. I don't want a baby worth through sawmilling. And RVing projects, we've done it with kids being home, but it's not as fun. So they require really the kids to be at school and the weather to be good-ish. So we place them in the mornings, at least we have for the last 3 months or so since it's been summer here, and on weekdays, aka school days. And then sawmilling gets 4 mornings per week, and RV projects only get 1 morning since it's like a business, while the RVing, it's a hobby, it's a project thing, and well, at least currently, it's costing money instead of making money. Now, time spent with the family, that obviously needs to happen during non-school hours, since the family is at school, most of them, right? So I've got that in the late afternoon and evenings, as well as on the weekends. And now, once you have your hard and set things in place, now take a look at your puzzle pieces and see what gaps you have on the calendar. Things like sewing and YouTube videos, those can happen any time of the day. Well, preferably when the kiddos are at school, and they can happen during any weather. So those are great things to fill in the time gaps. And now that you have your time block set up, it helps with several things. For starters, you're not wondering, what should I be doing right now? So that's already been decided, which means time is saved since you're not wasting it trying to make a decision. But also you can kind of get into like an autopilot thing, right? An autopilot zone, and just figure out, look at your schedule and just do what's on the schedule. And that's really the magic. Now you're into a time block. This is the time to get her done. Right now, you've got the next 30 minutes or whatever to sew, which means without getting stressed, enter into focus and get as much done as you can in these 30 minutes. It kind of becomes like a friendly little challenge, right? because you got the next hour or so of computer work, for example. And then again, you enter into focus and get as much work done on those computer projects as you can. And I would add that it's helpful to try to alternate time blocks between thinking and kind of non-thinking. So video editing and pattern development are pretty heavy on the thinking side for me. So I try to alternate these time blocks with like a sewing time block or some exercise or maybe filling sewing orders. Things that I don't really have to think much about, right? More creative endeavors. Now, when you take this idea of time blocking and start layering, that's the real goal. And what does this look like? Well, can you pair anything together? For example, when I'm milling, I listen to a podcast, something that I want to learn about. And how do I approach this? Well, I am fully concentrated on the milling process. And I look at anything that I learn in the podcast as a bonus. But I mean, really, the milling does not take much attention, okay? So I can easily absorb 80%, at least 80% of the podcast material. Mind you, I don't layer anything with computer work because, again, that is thought-provoking. So I might listen to some classical music, maybe, at most I listen to some classical music, oh my gosh, maybe some jazz if I'm like feeling feisty. But what's another time when I layer? The kiddos and fitness. I try to involve them with my exercises, so maybe this looks like directing them. Maybe I'm doing the talking and encouraging them through the movement. You know, everyone hands to the sky sort of thing. Bend over, touch your toes, and I'm doing all the stuff. But maybe it's a day where I just don't have that in me. And then I will turn on some yoga for kids on the YouTubes, and we will go through the actions together, and I'm allowing the person on the YouTubes, I am grateful for the person on the YouTubes that's doing the instructing. So in either scenario, I'm spending time with them, engaging and whatnot, but I'm also getting to check off that fitness box for the day. If this sounds like way too much since you're having issues getting distracted, check out this video where I show how the advice from distraction expert Neil Isle can be applied to your sewing projects. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching and I hope to catch y'all next time.